Recording. Okay, cool. So yeah, let's dive in here. So, you have had an ad live for how long? How long have you been running this ad for?
I want to say it probably got approved last Wednesday, day before Thanksgiving.
Last Wednesday. Okay, so we're coming up on almost a
Mhm.
week, right? Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, like just like I was saying, I'm gonna say it again just so the people watching this can understand as well. But yeah, whenever you're running a brand new post, so what we're doing is one ad right now under your Facebook page. So you only have to do one campaign for that ad. And then when we split test the different interests and the different audiences, we'll actually do that under the ad set level, which is just one to the right there. So rather than creating a new campaign, because a new campaign for me is a brand new ad. So rather it being like a new interest, it might be like your story ad and then like a video ad and then like something completely different. That would be three different campaigns. Does that make sense on that level? Yeah. So
Gotcha.
you're totally good, man. Like that's just years of doing this now, but I love it that you're testing a bunch of different audiences, which is awesome. So yeah, and actually what Facebook will do too is what I've been told is when you're running all of those different interests and kind of split testing them under the same campaign, it'll actually
Mhm.
strengthen that pixel. And they'll kind of what they'll do is they'll kind of start to optimize it and place your ad in front of more eyeballs more likely to click on that ad. So rather than just like kind of like jumping all over the place, Facebook sees your
Mhm.
consistency and they'll actually like automatically twist it and tweak it for you, which is really awesome. Um,
Awesome.
cool, man. So let's go ahead. And one thing too, if we're talking about pixels and just kind of like making your ad perform better across Facebook, is you never actually want to turn off a campaign. So and when you do, because even though you're on your campaign level, even though you're paying for it on your ad set level, you always want to leave your campaign on. Because Facebook again will continue to optimize your pixel and kind of have it running in the background, even though you're not actually spending money on it. Does that make sense?
Gotcha. It
Um,
does. It does.
yeah, so your ad set level is actually where we're spending the money. So even though you've created like six campaigns, I wouldn't worry about it, man. Let's go ahead and focus on go up a little bit and let's kind of see if any of these have results. Um, and so
It's
I
going to
think
be probably three and below that had the most results because I pretty much turned them off either this morning or early, probably at midnight, I want to
okay.
say.
So go ahead and hit that top one. Have you set your anchor? And let me see
Okay.
how that one's performing right now. Because you told me you've been getting some leads on them already, right?
Yeah, I
Okay,
actually have 5 leads here.
cool, man. And which one was that on? Do you know?
Okay. Now, to be honest, the first lead came through on this one here. Second lead on this one, celebrity gossip.
Okay.
The rest of the leads,
Okay, I see it. I see it out to the right now. Okay. Can you actually minimize that thing at the bottom just so I can see your full screen? Just like X out
yeah,
of that. Cool. Okay, yeah, now I see it. Website leads. Okay, awesome. So it looks like you had dang dude, you were getting a ton of clicks on travel, which is
yeah.
awesome. Um,
I was curious whether to turn it back on, but I saw that it was running a bit high. I didn't
okay,
know.
cool, man. So let me just kind of like give you the 101 on this because you are brand new and it's totally cool. But anytime you have an ad that receives a result, that is now your control. That's now a working ad, right? So our game plan and our strategy now is to constantly beat that control. So if you have an ad set that is working or an interest, same thing. Like you
Hmm.
have U.S. I think like your interest is travel.
Hmm.
I would leave that going all the time. Never shut that off because like what you're doing when you shut that off, even though you may not have gotten any more leads on it, what you're doing is you're locking the doors to your business so no one else can get in, right? So
Gotcha.
what we want to do is beat that control or the analogy of like making it easier for people to get inside of your store, right?
Right.
So um, my kind of like rule of thumb is after $5, which is one 24-hour period, right? So $5 a day is 24 hours. If
Hmm.
after that amount of time I don't receive any clicks or any leads, that's when I kill an ad set. But if I'm getting clicks, I usually let clicks run like another day, maybe depends on how many clicks I'm getting. My target is is anything under $5 leads. But for you guys, as you're like brand new to this, if we're getting leads, that's a win, right?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
might not be like a buyer right now, but you've never generated cold traffic leads ever in your life. So our goal right now is number one, generate those leads, and then as we find an ad that's successful and that's converting, our next goal is to see how we can get those leads even cheaper, and that's the process of beating that control. So this is what I would do, man. I would go back and I would go ahead and leave travel on.
Okay.
Um, I would go ahead and turn. I don't know exactly what your ad budget is right now, but um,
Look, I just got it on. I have an idea, but
yeah,
I just got it on, man.
that's totally fine, man. Like, but I mean, the 80-20 principle, like, we want to focus on the 20% that is working and put your money right there, right? So I would
Absolutely.
say right now, I don't know exactly how. Sorry, I don't know what's happening here. Um, I don't know exactly how much your lead cost per.
Let's see.
I don't see that breakdown right here. That's your cost per click, that's pretty decent too, 240. Um, so what I would do, man, is right now you technically have a winning ad. You've gotten some leads from that. So I would go
Okay.
ahead. Well, so yeah, so your total cost, you got that's a $21 lead. Um, Actually, that one's kind of expensive. Sorry, I'm breaking this down
Yeah.
real quick for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
so
was.
okay, so you
Yeah.
got one lead on all of those. So
Mhm.
amount spent is um
Let's see here.
yeah, so 20, yeah, that's a $21 lead, that travel one. The
Mhm.
775 is actually your cheapest lead, the internet celebrity. Um
Mhm.
so what is I don't know if I've seen your entire ad yet. What I might need to
I
look
have
at
it
that
here.
before.
Let's see. Uh,
Are you kind of talking like around the entrepreneurship, kind of building a business online? Is that kind of your strategy with
well,
it?
it was just like kind of a random day over Thanksgiving. If you
Let's
can
see.
see it, this is kind
Start
of
a
it.
new.
Um,
Okay.
let's see here.
Cool. Yeah. So, man, I would say, and I'll watch that in just a second after we're done here. But I can even tell from your headline that the general public probably won't. And I'm not saying like won't, but I would just say start. Let's start with some of the like industry keywords, which is kind of like like the Russell Brunsons or like the Robert Kiyosaki's or like the Tim Ferrisses. Like let's start with or like the like the make money from home, ML, like entrepreneurship. That's kind of where I always start a brand new ad, is like some of those keywords that are specific to these people. Um, Internet celebrity, like I mean, it worked obviously, so I'm not going to say it don't do that, but I would say let's kind of focus and laser in on a few things. Um,
Yeah, I was so scattered. I didn't,
no, that's okay. Yeah,
I didn't know where to go. Yeah.
yeah. And that's totally fine. Because you're awesome, man. Like you were taking action before we even chatted, which I love that. Like you're already generating leads, and we haven't even like reviewed your stuff, which is awesome. So, but yeah, I mean, I think you'll find these leads to be a lot cheaper when you actually target the people that want to see that ad. Does that make sense?
Sure.
And I
Yeah.
mean, you're getting $7, $8 leads from like basically that's the general public, travel, internet celebrities, celebrity gossip. Those are people that are putting in their name and their email, and they may not even care about building a business from home. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? So that's
Yeah.
still really good. But I think when you specifically talk to those audiences that do care about that, you'll find those results a lot cheaper. Um, so let's
That
do
was
that,
my
man.
question. Cool. Cool.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool. Yep. So let's go ahead and I would say Um, you've already turned off the two that are working. So I would just say let's go ahead and turn off all of those up there that you haven't add to success NBA TV. Yeah, I would go ahead and turn off all of those ad sets right now. And then, so this is all the same ad, correct? This is all the same
Yeah.
post on your. Okay, cool. Just want to make
Yeah.
sure we're not like awesome. So yeah, I mean that ad's working. I would call that I mean that's a working ad. Let's just find out how we can get it cheaper.
Cool.
Um,
Yeah. It came about by mistake. So yeah, I'm hoping it'll work.
cool, man. And so you shot that in San Antonio, you said?
Yeah, I
Here,
did.
was that for Thanksgiving with the family?
Yeah, the day before.
Cool, man. Um, I would go ahead and yeah, just leave one of them. Like leave travel for now because you're getting a lot of clicks on that. So whenever you have an ad that's getting a lot of clicks but not a lot of leads, that's a capture page problem. So you might split test some of like the GAZ funnels based off of that. I mean, the travel one's not a great example because you're getting a lot of clicks on that. So, and I'm not surprised. Like your video is all about travel. So when people see
Mhm.
that, they're like their eyes immediately light up. So I'm not surprised on that you're getting a lot of clicks. But I think
Mhm.
your landing page isn't quite congruent with that audience. Um,
Agreed.
so I think we'll tweak that a little bit, and I'll show you that. So yeah, just kind of a rule of thumb. There's three things that we're kind of focusing on with a brand new ad. Number one, first and foremost, is the interest. We're kind of split testing the interest right out of the gate, and I usually
Mhm.
start with like for me, I usually start with like about 5 interests right out of the gate. So I want to find out right away if that ad's gonna work or not, right? So I'll start with like my top five, or I don't know. Usually I start with like entrepreneurship, Robert Kiyosaki, um, Russell Brunson, Mike Dillard, um, and that's just because I know what my audience like, or I know what my stories usually vibe with as far as audiences go. But that's not
Mhm.
like you'll find like you'll find your audiences that your ads do really well with. But anyway, so I usually start with five keywords right out of the gate, right? So that's 5 times 5, $25 a day, because I want to know that that ad's working right away, rather than doing like one interest a day for like a week. Um, I'm collecting data like really, really fast. So by day
Right.
three, if by day three I'm not getting any clicks or any leads, I know that it's an ad problem. So I'll go back to the drawing boards and kind of work on the copy, maybe work on the picture. It might be I have to scrap the entire thing. But dude, you're getting leads already. So like your copy is working, your video is working. So for you, I think it's more of an interest problem. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So
yeah, it totally does because I
cool.
mean the ad copy itself, and then the yeah, I got you. I'm with
Mm-hmm.
you. Hmm.
Yeah, and anytime like you're split testing, so yeah, interest first, then the picture, or for you it's the video. So, um, like your video, I think is working, so I'm not worried about that. And then the third is your headline, right? So for
Hmm.
since you're doing a video ad, your headline is basically the entire copy. So those are the kind of the three things that you're split testing, and only one at a time, right? So you're only changing one variable every time you test one thing. Does that make sense? Does that make
It
sense on that?
does.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Um, Cool, man. So let's do. I would say. I would say just kind of start over on that. Not on the ad, but just on the way that you structured your ad, like your ads manager. Because I'll just make it way simpler for you.
Yeah, it's
um,
getting out of control.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Because I would say just turn all your ad sets off, and let's just create a new campaign that's like super simple for you. So let's do
Cool.
that real quick.
Okay.
Um, And then, yeah, you're going to want to go ahead and hit that blue box up there, review and publish, and just go ahead and save all those changes.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
you're not starting over. We're just doing a new campaign. So,
Okay.
I don't know why it's edit because
Trying to apply changes. Yeah, I got so many errors. I think I just need to go through and delete them. It's been
okay.
giving me. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, you're good, man. Um,
See, I think I started creating ads and then not. Um, oh man, it's all good.
yeah,
Anyway, it's all good.
basically all we're doing is we're creating an ad and basically boosting that video, right? That's essentially all we're doing. So I would go over to um, let's just start like all the way from the beginning. So go back to like just go to your normal Facebook. Just do like facebook.com. Let's start all the way from like the front door,
Okay.
and then hit your drop down at the top right to top
Oh,
right. Yeah, you're yep. There you go. And just do create ads. It's like kind of towards the bottom a little bit.
really? Man, I didn't know
Yep.
this was here.
There you
Okay,
go. It's
cool.
kind of like a shortcut. It takes you right into it. But you'll want to make sure that you're under your business manager, right? So go ahead and hit your um,
Dude, I'm sorry.
no, you're good. So
Okay,
go over, hit your name real quick, Sylvester. Hit that drop down up at the top,
gotcha.
and you're on a business account, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
cool. Yeah,
oh,
you'll definitely want to do it through a business account. Um,
there we go.
is that your business one, the Sylvester Affiliate Lifestyle?
Hmm.
Okay, cool. Yeah, always make sure you're doing it under your business one. Um, Facebook will take you a lot more seriously on that.
Okay. What did Alabama make in the top six? Yeah, we have three other teams. Okay,
Okay, cool. So we're gonna always do this for conversions. For the type of marketing that we're doing, a conversion is a lead. So it's someone's name and email, right? So
mm-hmm.
basically, all of the ads that you guys will be doing are for conversions. I usually don't track anything else unless you're doing like an engagement post. We'll talk about that in the future. Um, but for your specific ad, you have a link in it, right? You have like a click more, and then it's a link to your capture page.
Yeah,
Okay, so that
I believe so.
yeah, so that's a conversion post, which is it's basically just a direct response, cold traffic. Someone clicks the link and enters their name and their email. The other side of that would be an engagement post where it's like, comment info below, and I'll send you more info, or I'll reach out to you, whatever it might be. So that would be actually an engagement post. So
Gotcha.
yeah, for this ad, conversion is awesome. So go ahead and scroll down, and I would just do like campaign name. I would do like Sylvester video ad, and then like today's date is usually how I do it.
Forgot what today was. Okay.
Yeah, 11/28 is yeah, cool. That's awesome. And then you'll want to make sure that your campaign goal, you're actually looking for leads on this.
Okay.
Yep. And so you went through all of the Facebook training in the Gaz back office. You've gone through all that. Okay, cool. So
Mm-hmm.
all of your pixel stuff should be set up. We should be good on that. So yeah, go ahead and set up ad account.
Okay.
Cool. And then
Everything was good.
yeah, I think did you set up like a billing payment method and all that?
Yeah.
I'm not sure why it's showing us that right now. Create
Yeah, I don't either. Oh, you know
set.
why? Because I created two just in case.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so yeah, make sure you're under the right account.
Okay.
Cool. So your last one was on the first one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Good catch on that.
Let's see here. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that was the screen. I was like, what is that?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. No, you're good. I've done that so many times because I have like 5 or 6 ad accounts just in case I get one shot down by the Facebook police. And I've like created a brand new campaign. Everything was good to go, and it was on the wrong the wrong uh, the wrong page. So yeah, same thing. Conversions.
Okay, let's see here. All right, there we
Cool.
go. Here. So you're getting frozen a little bit. There we go.
Yeah, it's almost December, man. It's crazy.
I know. Days are flying by.
The end of the year
Okay.
always does, anyways. But I'm looking back, like, where did 2017 go?
I
Okay,
know.
cool. So I would start like, man, for that video, and we honestly don't know until we get it out into the marketplace. But I would say like just based on your video itself, like that, because you're using one of the GAZ videos it looked like, and your
Mhm.
headline, I would say start with like entrepreneurship. Like that's always a really good keyword for a lot of people. So actually up at the top where it says ad set name, I would delete all that and just put entrepreneurship US. One thing you'll want to do again is one variable at a time. So let's do one country at a time as well.
Gotcha.
For
Okay,
you,
cool.
since you live in the U.S., I always tell people to start in their native country because if it works in the U.S., will most likely work in Canada. But if you do them all together, then we can't necessarily like decipher which country you're getting leads from. I mean, Facebook does show you in the tracking, but like I would say, like let's just keep it super simple. If you're getting leads in the U.S., then you'll probably get them in Canada, right? So,
Right. Yeah.
and they'll be cheaper too since you live in the U.S. most likely. But so let's go down a little bit. And yeah, so conversion, that'll be your lead. That looks good there.
Yeah.
So keep going down. Um, Cool. Yeah. So United States is awesome. And then for age, I mean this is different for everybody. Like I've kind of found my audience, but I would say start at like 21 to 65
Okay.
plus. And this is one of the things that like Facebook will actually optimize automatically for you. But
Okay.
18 to 21, like they're still kind of in college, they're still partying, like they're not really interested in like building a business. Um, that's not like a firm rule, but from experience that's been the best for me. I
Sure.
always do all gender. You'll figure that out later on, which male or female your audience speaks best to. And then for language, make sure you do English, unless you speak other languages. I don't know, but um,
Okay, let's see here.
yeah, English all. Yep,
Got it.
cool. And then so for detailed targeting, this is your interest. This is your keyword. This is the thing that we're testing one at a time. So I would do entrepreneurship for now.
I was waiting for it to spell that.
Yeah, there it is. I know that's every time I write it out, I mess it up.
All right.
Yeah, so
All
yeah,
right.
one interest at a time. Yep. And then as you get better and better at this, man, you can actually narrow that audience.
Mm-hmm.
So as you start to find people that you kind of click with, like I, for whatever reason, always click with, um, I click with, I mean, it makes sense because that's my avatar is usually myself, but I click with a lot of parents. I click with a lot of like young dads, a lot of adventure people like snowboarding,
Yeah.
mountain climbing, that kind of stuff.
Because
So
you have
you'll
those
actually,
awesome pictures, man. Those
what's,
those family pictures are like out of control. That's why.
thanks, man. Those were actually like they're technically professional, but they were by like a family friend, so it was like high quality camera, and she gave it to us
Yeah.
for free, which is awesome. Um,
Yeah, it looks good.
but anyways, yeah. So we'll talk about narrowing it and stuff later on, probably in the group. But and then for that box right there, it says expand interest. I always uncheck that right out the gate. That's something I was telling my last client. That's something I'm split testing right now, but I haven't seen enough like data for it to be like better or worse. And I want to know for sure like whether entrepreneurship is working or not. If you expand the interest, then you don't know if those leads actually did better or worse. Um,
Wow. Okay.
so it's yeah, I mean it's something to test for sure, but like right now I wouldn't worry about it too much. I haven't heard anybody say like an absolute yes or no. So anyways, that's yeah. So keep scrolling down. Let's keep on going. So yeah, and under placements, you'll this is one thing that you'll always do. Yeah, edit placements right there.
Okay.
Yep. Hit that
Let's
little
see.
circle. Yeah, right there.
Let's see here.
Cool.
Okay.
Um, Yeah, go ahead and scroll down. The only one that you're actually going to leave checked is the one that says feeds right there. That's it. Everything else you'll uncheck. So all of Instagram, yeah, all of your audience network, all of those right there. Yep, yep, perfect.
There we go.
Yeah, and again, like as you get better and better, man, and you're cranking with this stuff, like you can split test that stuff in the future. But if we know that it's working on the feeds, then it'll most likely work in the other spots too.
Gotcha.
So we're like what we're doing right now is just kind of like shrinking everything down to like what has worked the best for the most people and to get you the cheapest results like out of the gate. Like once you're rocking and rolling and you're cranking 15 20 leads a day and you're wanting to kind of like branch out and get a little bit more fancy, we can talk about that stuff in the future, but right now it's just like I know for me, like if I have $5 to spend per day and that's it, I want to get as many results as possible, so that's what we're doing right now.
Right.
Cool. Yeah, keep scrolling down and we're pretty much done. I would say start at $5 a day, and that's what I always do. And you can scale that later on if you know a couple days down the road if you're getting three, four, or two, three, four, $5 leads, we can crank
Mm-hmm.
that up a little bit. Um, Usually I do it, and just so you know, like this is something we'll talk about later on as far as scaling goes. But usually I start at $2.50 increments for scaling. Um, so for example, like after 24 hours or even like 48, if I'm getting pretty decent cost per leads, like $2, like usually my target's around $2, $2 or $3 is where I've been finding my leads recently. If I find an interest that is doing well at $2 or $3, then I'll crank it up to 750. Then I'll let it run at 750 for 24 hours. If it's still doing well, then I'll crank it up to 10. So I'm doing $2.50 at a time, and then usually 10 is my max, right? So
Gotcha.
because I want to tell Facebook that I'm staying consistent. I'm not flooding through that audience as fast as possible, and usually my lead cost stays pretty consistent for a long time, right? So that's just a
Hmm.
quick little scaling tip. Um, and then yeah, so keep going down. The last thing we'll do is that conversion window box. We're actually going to make that 1 day click.
Gotcha.
I don't know why. Just do it. That's what it's always
Yeah.
been.
All right.
um, yeah, everything else is automatic. Like yeah, all that stuff Facebook does automatically, which is great. So yeah, continue.
Okay.
And then yeah, so you're gonna actually do use existing post because we're just choosing a post that you already have on your fan page, right?
Right
Um,
on.
so we are yeah, so that's the page. So that's your fan page, right?
Hmm.
Cool. And then that I think that video ad just passed.
Yeah.
Or no, sorry, you know which one it is. Yeah, yeah, cool, cool. Yeah, and that's it. So um, scroll on down a little bit farther. Cool, man. Yeah, that all looks good. So it's basically just taking your post and it's boosting it to that audience, to entrepreneurs. So go
Okay.
ahead and
Confirm.
hit confirm. Yep, and that'll start going for $5 a day as soon as you're approved. So
Awesome.
cool, man. That's the way that I would do it every time. Every time you do a campaign, I recorded this so you can watch that again. Um, so yeah, anytime you do a brand new campaign, which is a new campaign for me is a brand new ad, right? Campaign ad. That's the same thing.
Right.
Um, and then when you're working on this ad, when you're finding different interests, you're actually working on that at the ad set level. Does that make sense? So your campaign now is that slide vid 1128. So go ahead and
Hmm.
click that,
Okay.
and then you'll
Now.
actually you'll look at all of your data at this level right here, right?
Hmm.
I don't know why they're so. Okay, so I would turn off those other two right now,
Okay.
just
Let's
below
see.
it. Yeah, click those off, and then you'll probably have to hit that blue box, review and publish again. I'm not sure why it's not letting you save that, but because normally it does it automatically. It looks like you have. Um,
Well, I think the first day I started like to create ads and I didn't finish them.
oh, okay, that might be it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. There we
Cool,
go.
there you go. Yeah. So
It's cool.
yeah, I'm not sure why it's doing that, but you should only be paying for entrepreneurship now. So
Okay.
cool, man. Yeah, that's where I would look at it. You'll get a notification when that's live and active and approved, and then so quick way to check this out, and you can actually look at this in your GAZ back office too. But if you go, so all of my data that I look at, I
Hmm.
usually do it under the Power Editor view. Which if you go up to the top left, it says Ads Manager. Go ahead and click on that. A little drop down. Yep.
Okay.
And then you're gonna go over to where's it at on yours?
Dude,
Power.
I don't see it.
I don't either. Business man, Ad Manager. Go ahead and
Hmm.
search up top.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Uh huh. Power editor.
Yeah, type in Power Editor. I don't know why it doesn't show up on yours. It's not a huge deal. Like the Ads Manager is basically the same thing. I was just gonna show you like an easier way. Yeah, maybe hit that. See if it takes you to.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't want to confuse you on that. Don't worry about it. Because the Ads Manager is essentially the same thing. I was just gonna show you how to look at some more data. So basically,
Okay.
all I look at is if you go over to the columns and hit the custom right there. It's like over towards the yeah right there. You're gonna go down to customize columns.
Okay.
Cool. And then I'm not sure why they didn't pull up.
There we go.
Cool. Okay. So I would do Ad set name, leave. Amount spent, leave that. Relevance, sure. Cost per impressions. Yeah, it's not like I don't really care that much about that because what I care about is how many leads I'm generating and how much those leads cost. At the end of the day, like that's really all I care about. Since you're doing a video ad, 3 second video views is kind of cool because later on I'll teach you how to do a lookalike audience of the people that watch that video for 3 seconds or more, which is kind of
Okay.
it's another kind of ninja trick later on. Um, but yeah, you'll want website leads for sure, cost per website lead for sure. Um, and then yeah, so yeah, those other ones are awesome. Link clicks I still leave on there because I want to know if people are actually clicking on it. If I'm
Mm-hmm.
not getting any link clicks after a 24-hour period per ad set, then I'll turn that off, right? Because if
Okay.
people aren't clicking on it after $5, then they obviously don't like the ad. So,
Right.
but on the other hand, if I'm getting a bunch of clicks on that ad for that, so for entrepreneurship, if you're getting a bunch of clicks for entrepreneurship, but you're not getting any leads, then it's a capture page problem. It's a funnel problem, right?
Yeah.
So that's when you start kind of testing and tweaking some of the other funnels that are in the back office. It might be the fact that maybe like you're not quite congruent with your headline on your ad to your capture page. Like if they're reading something, they click the link and then they land on the capture page, it's like something totally different than what they thought they were going to get. Then they'll be
Yeah.
like, well, screw that. So, um, cool, man. Yeah, that's basically all the data that I care about. The video percentage watch is kind of cool. Actually, yeah, I mean that's a great stat for you right now because that's a brand new video ad. So I'd probably leave that one up too. Average watch time again, that's fine. But yeah,
Okay.
cost per leads, link clicks, and then yeah. So go ahead and hit apply at the bottom,
Okay.
and then that's your snapshot, man. That's your data. That's really all. That's the name of the game right there. So,
Got
um,
it.
so if you have like yeah, so right now our goal is to find something that's working, and once we find that, that's our control, and we want to keep beating it, right? So all you're gonna do from here on out is like say entrepreneurship, you're getting some leads on there for I don't know like five. You were getting them already at $7 for the general public, so I think you're gonna blow that one up. We'll check back in a few days, but
Mm-hmm.
to duplicate it, so to split test it, you're gonna actually just click out to the left of it, that little box to the left of that. Yep,
Okay.
right there, and then you'll just hit duplicate. And then from there, you're gonna hit duplicate, yep, and then you're gonna do is choose a new interest. So now it might be like, I don't know, Robert Kiyosaki or Russell Brunson. You'll do, yeah. Um, I'll just show you this real quick because this is important for you because you're already cranking a bunch of interest. Hit
Okay.
the do existing campaign. You want to make sure
Okay.
that it's still the same. Yep, that's the one. That's the same ad, and then you'll hit duplicate.
Okay.
And remember, we're only changing one variable at a time, right? So this would be like a new interest. So I would go up to add set name and I would choose something completely different. But everything else, since you duplicated it, everything else would be exactly the same except for that interest, right? So at the very top,
Right.
you can pick it. I'll send you over. I'm dropping this in the group in a little bit. These are like my top 100 converting keywords. And so this will give you guys kind of a cheat sheet to just start going through these keywords to see what works for you guys. So yeah, I mean, for you, man, like it could be, I don't know, maybe
What
like,
about
what's that?
what about Jonathan Budd?
Yeah, Jonathan Budd. Yeah, totally. He's awesome. Yeah, go with
Okay.
that.
Okay.
I mean, literally anybody in our industry is going to be good. Um,
Okay.
So yeah, so then you'll go down. Yeah, leads the same, your budget's the same, and your audience is where it changes, right? So all you're gonna do is you're gonna X out of entrepreneurship.
Right on. See here.
Yep,
Okay.
and then you're gonna put in Jonathan Budd, and that's it.
I got you. Okay,
Yep,
that makes sense.
yep.
Okay.
So now, and the reason we renamed your ad set is so when you're scrolling through this, you can like look, quick snapshot, find the data right away. Jonathan Budd, scroll to the right, see what the lead cost is. Entrepreneurship, scroll to the right, see what the lead cost is, and then you'll kind of weed out the ones that aren't working right. So, um, that's it, man. Yeah, cool. So
Is
scroll
that
down.
cool over here? Okay.
Yeah, so And like, yeah, I mean, like, I don't have like hard numbers on this stuff. Like in some of the trainings I've watched, they say like don't pick an audience under 250,000 people. Um, I mean, it's a toss up. Like some of my audiences are pretty specific, where like they might be less than 5,000 people, but if my ad is speaking to that person directly and they're buying stuff, I don't care, right? So, I mean,
Right.
Jonathan Budd like isn't a huge name for a lot of people, but then again, like Jonathan Budd's people they're probably interested in that ad that you have out there. So, I mean,
Gotcha.
yeah, you really can't like it. The audience will always choose, right? So it doesn't hurt
Hmm.
to test it for sure. Let it go for. I mean, it's $5. Let it go for one day. If it doesn't work, then it for sure it doesn't work. But
Sure.
cool, man. So yeah, I would do. I don't know where your ad budget's at, but I would try to do like two or three right out of the gate and
Okay.
kind of find out what's working. You already do have some data, so I'm not gonna be surprised if you start cranking some leads with these ones. And then our goal from there is just to try to get them cheaper, right? So
Sure.
that's it, man. That's all I got for you.
Awesome.
Any other questions, real quick? I gotta head down for dinner, but
Ah, no, man, I appreciate it.
cool.
Getting the ads in order really makes a big difference,
Yeah,
and yeah, I mean that's the bulk of it, really.
yeah, dude. I mean, honestly, like just staying organized with all this stuff is like it's night or day. Like once you can
Yeah.
kind of like quickly. I mean, like when I check on my ads, it takes me like 5 minutes per day because I mean
Gotcha.
I've been doing it a while, obviously, but I can go in there and like identify immediately what's working and what's not. So then like I'm not spending all my time just sitting here looking at it. Like I check it every 24 hours, right? So like usually my check-in time is like 9 a.m. in the morning, and then I don't
Yeah.
touch it again until 9 a.m. the next day, right? So
Okay.
and that's
I'm
like
checking
this.
way too much.
What's that? Yeah, I
I
know.
said I'm checking it.
In the beginning, man, like I totally get it, like being an ad
Yeah.
checker, but
Yeah.
you'll get used to that later on.
Sure.
What was I gonna say though? Yeah, I mean, this is literally like these are the doors to your business, right? So like once you have ad sets like that, the doors are open, the open sign's on, people are walking into your business, ringing the bell, checking out your stuff. So the cool thing for Jay Z is that a lot of that's automated, right? So like once they put in their name and their email, the all the heavy lifting on the back and a lot of that's done for them, right? So obviously like personal touch and stuff goes a long ways, but the cool
Mhm.
thing is like for you guys is only focusing on that first domino of Facebook ads and generating those leads. So all the heavy stuff on the back end is automated, which is awesome. So cool, man. Well,
Awesome. I
Sylvester,
appreciate it.
always a pleasure, bro. Yeah, I think
Absolutely.
we have the Tuesday transformational chat tonight. I think you saw that post in the group, but
I'll be there.
should be a good one, man.
Awesome. Awesome. I look forward to it.
Cool,
I
bro.
appreciate your help.
Yeah, you're welcome. Have a great rest of your night.
Hey, you too. Thanks.